Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another edition of the AEW Dynamite pre-show with Novi. It's been a long time. We've taken a few weeks off, Christmas, New Year's. I was at Dynamite last week, so, we kind of have to restrain things. We kind of not go too crazy. I don't want to go live at the venue, that kind of situation, but we're finally here once again, and what a week to come back on. Kenny Omega coming back, a Casino Gauntlet to get an AEW title shot at Maximum Carnage. We have a women's three-way to earn a number one spot in their Casino Gauntlet. I mean, good God, what a card we have tonight! And the vibes are coming in. We're coming in strong. I'm gonna catch you guys up to date here. Like, there was a time before the end of the year where I was a little cooked. I was a little burnt on the graps. I was a little, I was struggling with things. And now I'm down 2 Tokyo Dome shows in. I watched NXT last night. I just happened. Didn't necessarily mean to. I just did.
Just accidentally.
Pretty much accidentally watched it. Just live tweeted the whole thing. It was kind of beast. And we're here. We're ready to rock and roll. And guys, what a way to start the year than to debut. I was told to say Drew, but there's multiple aliases that you go by.
Yeah, I'm one of those insane people where I have a different name on every social media thing. That's why I've got 3 names in my little thing down here.
Yeah. So you guys in chat, I'll know which one you're talking about. If you choose either of the 4 that we've mentioned on screen today,
just call me anything.
Just anything.
Yeah.
But the debuting Drew, Rind Guardian, you may know him as Art Irony in the chat or whatever. How are you doing tonight, brother?
I'm doing well. It's I'm on Pacific time, so it's like the middle of the afternoon for me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Less evening, more afternoon.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's good to see you. I know a lot of people they may not follow you on Twitter. They may not. You're not necessarily a prominent media personality.
Nope, not.
How did you get into Graps? What was your start?
So what's really weird, I was like the opposite of like a lot of people where I didn't watch it as a kid, like at all. Like I had some I'm 27 just for context. So I had like some passing like awareness that pro wrestling like existed, because I'd be watching TV and there'd be like an ad for like WWE toys or something like that. So I was like, oh, I've heard of like The Rock or Stone Cold Steve Austin or like Eddie Guerrero, because it'd be like, ads for like action figures or whatever. I never watched it though. It's weird. I didn't get into actually like watching pro wrestling until I was like a sophomore in college. I had a friend who like he grew up like really into it in like the early 2000s. So he was like a huge fan of like Ruthless Aggression era WWE and like 2000s TNA was like his thing that he really liked. And then he was into Lucha Underground. And so that was like what he got me to like check out first. He was like, because I'd never like watched pro wrestling before, but he was into it. And so he's like, hey, you should watch this show called Lucha Underground. It's like a pro wrestling show, but it's like completely insane because there's like magic and like reincarnation and demons and like Aztec gods and stuff. Like, oh, that sounds cool. And it's so weird because that's like the thing that got me into pro wrestling, and now that's like the style of it that I like the least now. It's really strange. Obviously I have the little shoot style advocate thing under there, and I'm repping UWFI with the Takata Vader shirt. So.
That's a godly shirt. I'm not.
Yeah, it's like mid card merch or mid level merch. I can't remember is the one who does it.
Yeah, I've seen that shirt before. I've seen the poster too.
Yeah.
I was like, ooh, might have finger on the trigger with that business there. But that's actually a really cool way to get into it, because I know just a lot of people is like, oh, I just watched as a kid. I was watching, all these people grow up on. I grew up on John Cena and shit like that. You grew up on Penta Scoro and shit like that. That's pretty sick. So here's a good question for you. If you grew up on Lucha Underground, will you be watching the Raw debut of Penta El Cero Miedo?
No, I've lost all loyalty to even before the whole stuff of him like leaving AEW and like crashing out and like ruining Phoenix's career in the process. He just like at a certain point in the AEW run just like stopped caring at all about like doing anything besides being like an aura merchant, like
doing the glove toss.
Didn't care about anything anymore, and I was like, okay, I don't like watching you anymore. You like used to be one of my favorite people in this company.
That's fair. It happens to the best of us, to be honest. But I do hope you guys are all doing well. It's great to see you guys in chat. If you haven't already, make sure to leave a like on the stream. Make sure to leave a comment. You guys direct the show as always. We have a lot to talk about. We've missed 2 weeks of Graps, so if you guys want to ask me anything about the last 2 weeks or any Tokyo Dome related things, I'm always down for that. We have super chats turned on if you're feeling oh so generous to start this new year. And also, it should be noted, if you guys haven't seen in the videos, there's a new background behind me here. We got some new stuff going on. We got more prominent Sting and Dar. We have a super couple figures here in the corner. You know, hopefully you guys are enjoying that situation. But again, make sure to leave a chat and direct this show. Take us where you want to go. Of course, we have to start with the customary. You're on screen, but you're here.
This in, yeah, the customary pre-show message.
Exactly. Big Dude is now recognizing exactly the crossover between people. And it's good to see you as well, brother. Lord Lambo, always good to see Lord, who is also booked for a show next month.
Oh, nice.
J.A. Novi, good to see you, Jay. Dare Rich, happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday to you. Happy 2025. 23rd birthday in 4 days on January 12th. Nice. Happy early birthday. Where does that fall on? That falls on a Sunday. That's a good day for a birthday, I'd say. It's a solid birthday day. Mr. Big Dude, I imagine you joining the Grin Along from the venue. I considered it. However,
it's like out the opposite of the the meme where it's like a boring ass show and it's someone like watching Deadlock on their phone or whatever. It's the opposite of that.
Exactly. Except, Big Dude mentions joining the Grin Along from the venue. Well, I didn't need to because I had to. I just got to join it when the show was over. I drove home 2.5 hours back and the fuckers were still live.
Oh my God.
And I stayed on for an hour. So, that's fun.
That's insane.
Lambo says hi. It's art.
Hello, Lambo.
Dare Rich, do you share a birthday with a wrestler? I share the same birthday with Raquel Rodriguez and Luna Vacon. I don't know if I do. Famous. I'm gonna hit the famous birthdays as well. Let's both hit the famous birthdays. We'll do July 13th, which is my birthday.
I remember I'm close to AJ Styles because he was born on June 4th or something. Oh, Jade Cargill is June 3rd.
I have Harrison Ford, MF Doom are here. SpongeBob is here. I'm not seeing any wrestlers though currently.
I see. Anybody else?
Patrick Stewart is here. And old Fortnite players here. There's a lot of people on here, but I'm not seeing any wrestlers.
Oh, Red Velvet's June 3rd. Also, that's funny. So she and Jade Cargill were born on the same day in the same year. They're both June 3rd, 92.
That's crazy. What the hell?
June 3rd, 97.
Wrestlers born. I found it. Okay, so I got 3 of them. I have Sean Waltman, X-Pac. I have Ayumi Kurihara, and then unfortunately, I have the Necro Butcher. So
I don't know. Necro has his moments. I don't know.
It's a good match with Samoa Joe.
I obviously can't condone the MAGA Butcher stuff, but
it's a little
the
interesting.
Super Dragon one and the Joe one. There's some cool stuff in the 2000s that he did.
Yeah, before he went kind of off his rocker. Good, let him do his thing. Whatever. There's a couple names for you, Dare Rich.
Gosh.
The Big Fat Orange Cat. Always good to see the Big Fat Orange Cat. Who are wrestlers not in AEW or WWE that you would like to see push in their respective company? This is an interesting question. New Japan immediately comes to mind for me.
Ooh, yeah.
Oiwa was up there.
Yeah.
I would like to see Yuya get a nice shove when he comes back. I'd like to see Izumi in Stardom. That would be someone I'd look at.
Izumi's got to look up at the bright lights for Kevin Amasaki. Kevin's the ace, the future of Stardom.
That could be your pick. That's a good pick.
My pick is Kevin Amasaki.
There's a couple there.
I don't watch Marigold, but the one who dresses up like a hummingbird, I want her to be world champ.
Okay, I can accept that.
She's taking it off Utami. I don't even remember. I think her name literally is just Hummingbird or something. Someone will correct me in the chat.
Hummingbird, just straight Hummingbird. Yeah. That's interesting. I'll give you a Marigold name here. Hang on. I gotta scroll down. Miku Ono. Okay, let's pick Miku Ono. Let's do that. I got you a Marigold name for you. There's some couple good names. I know CMLL. You think? They got a lot of people.
Watch CMLL really at all. I like Atlantis Jr. I don't really watch much CMLL. He's fun. I like the new Mascara Dorada. He's pretty good.
He's beast. I'm not a big CMLL watcher either, but I do want to get into it this year. It's something I'd like to have in my bag this year.
It's just one of those things where it's like I don't really love like Lucha Libre that much, but it's like the whole thing where it's like all the cool kids are CMLL fans.
Yeah, all the cool kids are watching. I need to join in.
And so it's like I don't know. I need to try it at some point. But,
yeah, I'm making that a thing this year. I'm gonna be a CMLL pervert. I'm gonna get behind Mascara Dorada. I'm gonna get behind Soberano Jr. And I'm gonna get behind Hechicero's old ass to win every match. That's what we're gonna do. And did you all enjoy World's End and Wrestle Dynasty pay-per-view? Those are a couple AEW shouts. World's End
Dynasty, yeah.
World's End is a tough one for me because I didn't love it, but I definitely didn't think it was bad by any means. It wasn't like a bad show. It wasn't necessarily something I was like super in on.
Yeah, felt kind of similar. Yeah, like I thought I'm looking at the card right now. I thought like Mariah May and Thunder Rosa's match was pretty cool. The women's division, I think, pretty much always like kind of comes through whenever they have like street fight or like hardcore matches.
Yeah.
And then like Ospreay versus Fletcher actually like really surprised me by how good it was because I'm not like a massive Ospreay fan by any means, but like I don't know. I think and I didn't really like Fletcher that much when he first came in or like when I would watch him in New Japan as part of Aussie Open.
Yeah.
Now that he's like
different guy
and like completely changed his wrestling style, I like it a lot more.
Those are a couple I'd shout out. I would shout out definitely Ospreay and Fletcher. Ospreay Okada, I'd definitely shout out.
That was the one where it's like these guys have had this is like a condensed version of a match these guys have had like 10 times already. I don't know. It's kind of like overdone for me.
I could see that being a thing. I could see that being an issue.
It was like every G1 every year that they both were in it, and like there was always like it was like I looked it up once on Cage Match, and it was like at least once a year for like 9 years they had a match against each other.
Yeah, it can feel a little burnt out when you have that many matches. Yeah. And like I enjoyed the different setting of it, so I was okay with that. Mercedes and Chris was pretty good. I wasn't as high on it.
That one's
I wasn't as high on it as everyone was, but I still think it was a very, very good match. So those are a couple I could point out in terms of like I enjoyed these matches, but just as a show, I think there definitely could have been some spots for some like just dynamic matchups. I don't need a bunch of singles one after the other and stuff like that. It really burns me out by the end of those shows.
Kind of the issue with also too, like right, because they tried to do it like the G1 where like the final is like the same day as the semifinals, so they have to like wrestle at the start. So like inherently you're getting 3 singles matches on the card no matter what, you know.
Yeah. They needed to play with that a little bit, like a tag somewhere. Private Party should have been even on there somewhere.
Yeah, no, dude, that frustrated me so much that it's like they had just won the tag titles and then like weren't even booked on the show, and now they're like background characters in the Top Flight breakup angle.
Yeah, it's really,
oh
it's a weird situation they got going on. They're not even on Dynamite this week. It's rather unfortunate where they're placed on the card. But I think that's good thoughts on World's End. Didn't even mention Wrestle Dynasty, by the way, the whole time. You didn't watch it. I thought Wrestle Dynasty was genuinely a fantastic show. I think it's going to be really hard to beat it for show of the year. Them going out there, everyone seemed to step up their game in the Tokyo Dome, and that's all I could ever ask for from a lot of these people. Even if I think the matchups themselves weren't necessarily Tokyo Dome worthy, but they stepped up to make it Tokyo Dome worthy.
Yeah,
you know.
That was what I thought when I was like, why are they doing Gabe Kidd versus Kenny Omega? Like, what?
Yeah, it's a weird little thing.
An amazing match. So,
it's incredible. And that, like, when you include the match of the year probably on your card, like, yeah, it's gonna be a fun show. So that's my take on it. Ever saw Wrestling Society X? No.
I think I've watched like a match from it at one point because it was like there were 2 guys that I liked in one of the matches. I think there was one. It was like Too Cold Scorpio and somebody else that was in it.
He's real.
Watching it, yeah. And I watched like some video somebody did like about the history of the promotion and just all the like weird stuff about it and how it was kind of like a precursor to Lucha Underground with like what it was doing of like the less, I don't know, it's not even like more sports entertainment oriented. It's like some other thing entirely where it's like a TV show about something else where like pro wrestling happens to occur at some point during the show is kind of what like that show and Lucha Underground were.
That's wild. I'm seeing also later in the chat, Mr. Big Dude, pyro goes off during the match.
Yeah. There's just crazy stuff like that happens in it.
Rock on. I've never seen it, but maybe that's happened
or something. It was like a very short, like for how short-lived Lucha Underground was, this was like even shorter, if I remember.
We have a description of Michael Bay directed wrestling, so that's what you get out of it. Speaking of cinema, Big Dude, art irony of cinema. Red Meat Wrestling, hello there, Red Meat. It's good to see you as always.
Hello.
Penta and Chad Gable. Look, man. I can tap into the match just for funsies, just to see what's going on.
It would be really, really funny to me in like a messed up way if like Penta suddenly just like locked in and tried like super hard.
He started like balling out. He was skinny again, like that kind of thing.
That'd be super funny. Like he just completely phoned it in for like a year and a half in AEW, and then like just bell rings off the rip. He's hitting like every move he can, just like
yeah. If there's anyone that would do it, it's probably could be him.
I think I really want to see, just out of like morbid curiosity, on a house show, they need to book Penta versus Shinsuke Nakamura just to like book the most phoned in match of all time.
Good God. A lot of walking going on there.
Yeah, we're like they're just doing like pose offs and stuff and like hitting every move at like 30% speed for like 15 minutes.
It's going to be sick. The crowd's going to love it. Can't wait.
Gonna roll up.
Yeah, one of them's getting rolled up. It's probably going to be Penta. It's going to be sick. This car passes by. I don't know if you'd hear that. Taylor Port Graps. Always good to see Taylor. All this Mania main event talk is going to be so funny when it's outshined by Braun Breaker. Braun Breaker is the real, I will say. But look, man, Punk's getting his Mania match, it seems. I'm can lock in. Can lock in for that. But I would be excited to see it. Breaker's pretty sick.
Leo Del Steiner.
Exactly. Red Meat Wrestling. Thoughts on Zack Sabre Jr. Speaking of pretty sick, guys, let's not be annoying. Actually, I think maybe are you gonna be, or what are you gonna?
No, I'm not. I was like pretending that I was gonna say something just diabolical, but
I was a little terrified. I thought you were gonna hate on Big Techers.
No, I like Zach. He's not like one of my favorite wrestlers, but he's like a guy I can like always expect is gonna be like consistently at least decent. I really wish he would put down the World of Sport tapes and watch like Daisuke Ikeda, because it's like I think Zach, if he could like strike well, would be like goated in my opinion. Like he's probably, as far as like dudes who just like do holds and stuff, he's like the best in the world right now. But like I don't know, he needs something else to him for me to like really, really like him,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
like watch Ikeda who can do submissions and like throw good-looking kicks and punches and stuff. Like that's what I want you to do.
Yeah, I can see that. I'm a big fan of Zach. I think he's had a great year. I'll give my take on this here because I know plenty of you guys follow me on Twitter. If you haven't, it's in the description. But I think that Zack Sabre Jr. and Shota Umino were set up to fail because you told them to go out there and wrestle for 44 minutes. Guys, the New Japan house style does not work for everybody. We need to stop doing it. It's a bad idea. Shota Umino is never going to work in that. Was never going to do well. Zach was never going to elevate Shota when they try to have a match that long. It was always going to be tough, and I think they set him up there. It's rather unfortunate.
That's how I felt about Zach and Yota Tsuji's like G1 final, where I was like, this is a really great like 18-minute match that is 33 minutes,
I felt the same way. It's like if we just cut down the match links, if we give these guys like a better outline for these matches, I think it would have been received a lot better. And I can honestly, if I put that at like my fandom for Zack Sabre aside, like my appreciation for him, I get a lot of the criticisms of him not being like a dome main eventer and his style not really working for that setting. Yeah. I 100% get
like
that.
He's not Tanahashi, he's not Naito, he's not Okada.
Yeah, I get it, but I think like if that's the truth, which it very well could be, we should probably give him a match that more suits, like, his match sets the setting.
Well, and like they've done, I mean, granted, this was a long time ago, but like they've done Tokyo Dome main events that were like shorter matches that were like, I mean, it was before the sort of modern like New Japan main event style existed, right? But like, Hashimoto versus Takada was like not, I don't even think that was like 15 minutes long or something. The one that like concluded the whole like New Japan versus UWFI feud. And it was mostly just like technical wrestling and striking. It was like pretty much the whole match. And it was like 15 minutes long.
Yeah. I mean, could you imagine if like this match was about 15 minutes long? Like you could even get it like 16, 17. I would be like, oh, that's fine. That's fine. It's a Dome main event. I think it would have gone over so much better because I even was enjoying the match at first. And then it just kept going on and kept going on and kept going on. And by the end, you're just like, this could be one of the worst matches of the decade, just because of all, just not even because the work was bad, just because it was the wrong match to have in a setting like this. You know what I mean?
Like Umino seemed like he was also like kind of locking back in and like not gonna be like apathetic anymore, because like on the road to Tokyo Dome show he had that like really great 6-man tag where he like had a really awesome performance in that. So I was like kind of excited for the Zach match, and then I haven't watched it yet, but then I like everything I heard about it, people were like, no, this is so bad.
It's just the wrong match. It was set up to fail. It's unfortunate, and I get people's criticisms, but I think people are using this as a chance to be like, Zack Sabre Jr. fucking sucks, guys.
Yeah, that to me was like the most baffling thing, where like my whole timeline was just full of people being like, Zack's washed. Like,
I don't understand that. That's like, come on, guys. Do we have to be so hyperbolic all the time? It was unfortunate. The match is probably going to be up there for one of the worst of the year. Again, not because it's like, not even because the work was bad, just because it's a Tokyo Dome main event. It shouldn't be that long. It shouldn't be that bad. You know what I mean? Expectations were high. They didn't meet them. Unfortunate. But both guys, I don't really think differently of them, to be honest. The only thing I think for sure about is that Shota wasn't ready, and he's not going to be ready for a minute. But I feel like I kind of knew that beforehand. So interesting. J.A., imagine ruining your goodwill with a company to go to the other, and your debut gets cut for time. Could you imagine? Gosh, I couldn't imagine this happening, especially, it's not like they had any other time. I mean, they had to get in all their ads and stuff. The Rock had to come out there for 30 minutes, of course.
Yep.
I watched that whole show, by the way, on stream, and just, oh man, by the end, you're just fucked. It's just,
all I really know about it was that like everybody booed Hogan when he came out.
Oh, they sure did. They booed him a lot. He got very angry about it too. It was very funny. And then he tried to rip his shirt, but it like didn't rip all the way, and it kind of like, as he walked away, it was like a skirt. It was very, very unfortunate for him.
Great.
But I mean, I like to see it. Dare Rich, awesome shirt. It's meant for you. Yes, Lord Lambeau is booked, and we're gonna say this live on air. We are restricting his Mariah May business. We are restricting it to a solid 5. We maybe would start the show with solid 5 Mariah May business, and then we're restricting it.
Just Mariah May takes up top, and then we're never talking about it again.
Exactly. I'm gonna timestamp the Mariah May 5-minute increment, and maybe if she's on the show, we can get another cool 5 in there. We'll see. We'll rein it in. Don't you worry, folks. But I'm very excited to talk to Lambeau on stream. Very excited. And Jim Pian, he's got to get his shit off. Let's do this.
Yeah, let's go.
Tonight, God takes some time out of his day to shower blessings on the minor league known as All Reset Wrestling. May we all revel in this glorious event. Moment in time.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Couldn't have said it better. We'll get to it later on, Angie, and don't you worry. Maybe we'll get to it if you send another one. I don't know. We'll see. But we'll get to it. God is back. We're up. And not gonna lie, I thought that Raw on Netflix was overrated and not a good episode at all. 4 matches in 3 hours is crazy.
4 matches in 3 hours. Oh boy.
Oh, it was bad. Yeah, I didn't even see anybody gassing it up, which was, I don't know where. If you're seeing that, you might be in the wrong circles, brother. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you, because that show was very poor. This is true. A 2-hour grin followed by a 4-hour podcast. You can find some interesting things on that. Subscribe to LNG Gold. The link is in the description for that as well. Red Meat puts it very simply: the Netflix debut sucks shit, which is pretty beast. Another Raw sucked tonight, but like Greg, you guys are dogging on the Raw. I get it. I mean, it sucked, but wow. We have another one here. Ian Davis. It's good to see Ian. Always good to see Ian. Hope all is well. Hope all is well with you, Ian.
Regular, yeah.
Lambo shares a birthday with Kane. Share the same birthday as Natalie.
I mean Natalia.
I would think Natalia.
Yeah.
Big Dave Finn, a beast. That's very sick. CMLL is hard to watch because of the $30 a month. That is tough. And I like CMLL. I like watching it, but $30 a month, that's a little pricey. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a little bit of money.
Although they do run like 6 shows a week or something like that.
That is
so like in terms of like value for your money, if you're like a real fiend and want to watch every CMLL show, like that it does end up working out to like $5 a show or less than that. I forgot to do the per week thing. $1.25 per show.
Yeah, which is like if you're watching everything, fine, but I'm not watching everything. I'm picking out matches. You know what I mean?
I mean, even a lot of people I know who like regularly watch CMLL, they watch like what is it? It's like it's Thursday or Friday. I can't remember. Is their like main show and like people watch
it's the Friday show.
Yeah.
It's in the Coliseum.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll be tapping a little bit to that. Yeah, Anjan, y'all like Dean Ambrose? Hey, brother. We low-key don't with the fringe.
Gleet Ambrose.
You're gonna put I forgot about this propaganda.
My support, unfortunately. Yeah. Just have Kenny like debut or come back in the Casino Gauntlet match, have him just like, I don't know, V-trigger some random person in the match and like win it 2 seconds after coming in. And then world title match with Moxley, loser signs a 10-year Gleet contract. Actually, no, Kenny might actually sandbag that because Gleet is like one of the only promotions that'll still book Kota Ibushi.
Oh shit.
So
we gotta get worried.
Actually, there's a small chance that Kenny sandbags the match just to still work with Kota.
Small chance he would sell his soul just so we can get some gold lovers action. Small chance. Yeah, we low key done with Dean Ambrose. Not low key. We high key done with Dean Ambrose.
And that's the thing. Like if you guys watched the streams in the last few months, obviously you would know that I was initially someone who was high on the concept of Jon Moxley doing all of this stuff, and I coped too close to the sun for it at this point.
Yeah, now you're paying
I thought
for
this
those
was going to
fakes.
be like, if anybody is familiar with like 01's storyline, Stop the Matsunaga, I thought this was going to be like AEW's version of that, and it just sucks instead. Yeah. There's nothing like cool about it.
No, it's just bad.
Stop the Matsunaga was.
Yeah, it's rather unfortunate. I'm sure we'll talk about it because I do see a super chat over here. We'll get to it later down the line, but I do appreciate it. Big Hitbox. Good to see Hitbox as always. Other than Speedball, is there anyone else you'd like to see as a surprise in the Gauntlet? Let's get into this now. The men's Casino Gauntlet. Winner gets an AEW World title shot at Maximum Carnage. Jay White will be entering the bout first as he won the match versus Swerve Strickland and Roderick Strong. Fellas, this is a big-time match. This is always a fun one. The last one was at All in Wembley, I'm pretty sure. We got with Nigel McGuinness.
We don't talk about that.
Yeah, we'll keep that out of my brain for a moment. We'll put a big black square over that in the timeline. But this is usually a very consistent match outside of that one version of it. And this seems like it could be loaded with some top stars. I know Hitbox just said Speedball. I'd like to see it come with Brass Monkey tonight. But there's some other names out there that I could see coming in here. I know a lot of people are hyping for Kenny. I don't necessarily see it. I think Tony Khan might be a little bit lame, but I would like to see it. It'd make me very happy, especially if he were to win. I know you had a name before we went live that you'd like to see in it. Who was that name?
I think Hologram comes back during it. This just seems like the ideal kind of match to have him return in. And I was thinking about it earlier, although it probably won't happen because I know like Bandito like got concussed at like Final Battle or whatever, and like I don't know how severe that was, of like how long it takes to recover from that. Obviously, I know like that can be different depending on the person and also like how many you've had before.
Yeah.
That's how fast you recover from them. So probably not him. Like basically, like if he hadn't gotten hurt, he would be like an ideal person for it. But yeah, no, and I definitely agree on Speedball. Like Speedball's probably debuting during it.
Oh, it's like almost certainty. I think Bandito's probably. I think we can throw Bandito in here if he's cleared. Obviously, obviously it's different with concussions, as you said. It affects everybody differently. It could be months. You never know. He has had pretty fucking hard. But if he is cleared, I would like us to just kind of forget about that and let's just redo it here.
We're done with the learning tree. We're just pretending the whole debut thing never happened.
Let's just pretend that he never appeared on that ROH show, and let's just do it here. Let's call it a day.
Just have commentary, just never acknowledge and be like, oh my gosh, Bandito is back after like a year.
Yeah, I would like that. That'd be good. But as it goes, I think the big thing that you have to look for is the winner here. I know a lot of people, as I said, pushing for Kenny Omega. I would love to see it. I'm curious to who you might have to win the match.
Yeah, we talked about this a bit before we went live, where I don't know if I have like a singular person I would see like realistically winning it, but like Jay White's probably winning just because I think he's going to become like AEW's version of like Hiroki Goto in New Japan, where he like gets 1 billion world title shots and loses every single time. They just for whatever reason they just love to torture Jay White. Tony Khan proudly stands against the white power movement.
Good God. I forgot. That's been a thing that happened while I was gone. That movement began. Very interesting. I also think that Jay White is going to win here. I don't necessarily want to see it. I know a lot of you guys know my opinions on Jay White. I think he's a good wrestler. I don't think he's a main eventer. But if he is a main eventer, I think he's Hiroki Goto. But not as good.
I will say, like, granted, this was 5 years ago, but Jay and Moxley had a singles match in like the G1, like when Moxley was doing that, and that was pretty good. Although this is 2025 now.
It's a different time.
Moxley.
Different version of the Death Rider.
Yeah, that's very much not good.
Yeah, unfortunately. But I think this match will be exciting, just like previous one has been. I think we'll have a lot of fun with it. It usually is just a lot of fun, a lot of energy.
The absolute famous thing would be having Ospreay win it for like the third time.
I was just about to say that. However, he's also booked in a match tonight. So I think
Tony Khan will not find a way.
Look, man. I don't necessarily think you're wrong. I don't think you're wrong. He probably will double book him. We can control ourselves, I'd hope.
Like, oh, the Buddy Matthews match is actually happening inside the casino gauntlet. Like,
good God, he would do some shit
like that. Ospreay enters, and everyone's like, "Isn't he wrestling Buddy later tonight?" And then Buddy enters like 5 seconds later. And, like, we're just doing it in the middle of this other match.
Yeah, it's a good point here from Bupperoni. Didn't stop Christian at all in. He was in it. You never know. I don't think Ospreay's going to be in this one. I think that was more of a like, guys, he's wrestling. He's not going to be in this one. You're safe. Yeah. You're good.
We're safe for that.
Yeah. So that's what we have our thoughts on the casino gauntlet. It's going to be a fun one. I'm looking forward to it. If you guys haven't already, make sure to leave a like on this stream, seeing you guys file in as we go. Of course, it's been a few weeks. We have to kind of tell people, hey, we're back. We didn't just stop doing the show. We're back. If you guys are feeling so generous, you can also donate a super chat. We have one waiting for us down the line here, but I go in order, so we'll get to it when we get to it. But I do appreciate it, nonetheless. Here we go, Mr. Big Dude. Thoughts on when Dean takes up the first 20 minutes of the show talking about Cope? Well, I would say he's gonna do a cool 7 minutes backstage where he goes on and on about nothing. That'd be that's my take on the lunatic.
Yeah, I think you're right. Or no, I think what they'll do is it'll be like he'll do the promo like in the ring, and then Cope and FTR are going to come out, and I know they've been cooking this one up for a minute. They're going to cut a 45-minute stand-up for AEW promo.
I thought you were going to say they're going to brawl in the ring, and I've never seen that before. It's
why would they ever do that when they can hashtag stand up for AEW for 45 minutes?
I think there's definitely two routes we could go. Either the stand up for AEW route, or we could do our 20th brawl in the last 2 months with the Death Riders. That would There's 2 routes, guys. We'll see which one we go down.
The 2 genders brawl and stand up for AEW.
There you go. Continental Classic carried the World's End pay-per-view. It was a lot of the feeling of it a little bit. But Mercedes was there with Chris Stat. So, yeah, the big thing with the gauntlet can't be a bunch of it has to be main eventers. That is my one thing when I saw this match get announced. It cannot be undercard guys. It has to consistently be main eventers or you're going to burn this shit. It happened with the tag, guys. The tag was bad because there was no main event tags in there. So it's like we have to be careful. But I think they know better. I do
think the only way that would be acceptable is if you had like Takeshita in there and then just like fed him like 5 like low card dudes in a row. Like they all enter within like 5 seconds of each other and he's just like lariating all of them down in a row.
I can get someone down with that. I can get someone down with that. Now you're kind of cooking up something I like. All right. Lord Lambeau, Art Knows Ball, Mariah Thunder was good.
Hey.
Of course Lambeau we have to mention the Mariah May match. Well, come on now, guys.
Getting our Mariah May agenda.
We have to get our shit off. That's beast though. Getting your shit off is always fun. And Jan, the C2 stuff blew everything out of the water on the World's End card. Ospreay Okada should have closed the show, especially with what happened at the end of the match. We didn't need Dean in the main event. I think it definitely should have made. That was
because like the G1 final always main events the show. It's on because it is just the G1 final show. So World's End should just be the C2 final show.
I would like that. Going forward. Dare Rich, thoughts on Adam Copeland going by the name Cope now. I was at the show. I didn't know he was doing this until I got home that night. Why? Why was he doing? Why did the way I framed it on Twitter, I said it's like one of those guys who gets like a 4-letter, like the legendary 4-letter gamer tag on Xbox. And if they have anything other than that 4-letter gamer tag, they fucking lose their minds about it. He was like, we got 4 letters. We got to get back to it. And he made a shirt with he hid the edge in there. Oh. So yeah, well, it's interesting. We'll see how that progresses.
I saw someone say that like now that he's going by Cope, FTR should be FTR Seethe and FTR Mold instead of FTR Gun and FTR Mold.
That'd be a path to go down. Private Party should be featured on Dynamite more often. Correct.
Yeah, where your tag champions should probably, be on your show at some point.
You'd think. Kid Omega is my match of the decade so far. Ooh. I can maybe get behind that if Omega and Ospreay didn't happen at the Tokyo Dome this same decade. That makes me question things. But it's, I get it, especially with all the build, him being away for so long. That's that extra layer of feeling. You know what I mean? So I get down with that.
No, you have a match I have to shoot for shoot style. It's the astronauts when they fought each other at KT Dan.
That's a real ass match. Okay, I can get down. There's a level of shoot style propaganda that I can get down with, and when you talk about astronauts 1-on-1, I'm cool with that. Let's see here. Jesus Christ. Good fucking God, guys. And Jan. Good God, dude. I'm not reading this. I'm not reading this out. I'm looking to see the next chat.
I've seen Moxolini before. I've never seen that.
The Moxolini I'm cool with. I can get down with the Moxolini, but this seems like a little aggressive. Good God. There, Rich. First women's casino gauntlet match next Wednesday. Excited to see who gets that number 1 spot tonight. Well, hate to tell you, it's
Britt Baker.
It'll be Britt Baker.
Runs in, it turns into a 4-way. Britt Baker.
Oh God. Let's talk about it though. Chris Statlander, Willow Nightingale, Tony Storm, winner gets the number 1 spot for the women's casino gauntlet at Maximum Carnage. Fellas, this is probably the top 3 names of the women's division right now, excluding Mercedes. I think she's up there as well, top 4. Jamie's also up there too, but I am very much excited for this match. I like all 3 of these wrestlers. I think this is just a fun one to throw on there. It makes a lot of sense. It's a big time match to throw on your show. I'm cool with it. Unfortunately, as I was going to kind of allude to with the result here, I'm sorry to say, I think Tony Storm is almost certainly getting the dub. You have a take on this, and what's your thoughts on the match?
I'm really excited for the actual match itself. Just seems like it's going to be really fun. But yeah, now that I think of it, Tony probably is taking it. I, being a Willow Nightingale fan, is just like the suffering builds character meme over and over again.
We're following the Hangman arc. We're following Hangman Adam Page's lead with this one.
Dude. It's unfortunate, but like when she does actually get the world title after forever, it's gonna be so great. But yeah,
it'll hit different.
Tony's definitely coming back and like taking the belt back at Australia. That just seems like something they telegraphed forever ago, unless they have to like pivot to do something else.
Mm-hmm. I would almost certainly agree.
I actually like the current Tony Storm character. I'm not gonna lie, like the Amnesia Tony Storm. I actually really like it. It's like just the right level of like kind of dumb that I really enjoy. It now.
It's like a good balance. Like it can be dumb, and it's not so dumb in the ring. Like she's working a little rookie style, but still it's good matches. So I'm fine with it. So I think it's telegraphed. She's probably gonna beat Mariah in Australia, I would say. Mm-hmm. But I'm still looking forward to the match. I'm looking forward to the gauntlet next week as well. It's a very exciting one. Willow Nightingale also wrestled at Dynasty in the pre-show. That's also one you should watch. It was the pre-show four-way. Yeah. It was Momo, Willow, Persephone, and Athena. Very, very good match. I would say definitely watch that one.
Okay.
So there's that. That's a very fun match we have on the show. Let's see here. We have some NXT talk later down the line. Let's see if we get to that. All right, let's get to that. I heard you watch NXT, Novi. What were your thoughts on the show? Heard Rock was drunk. All right,
that's the only thing I know about it. Was there's like, who is it? Is it Cody or someone where they like drink shots of Rock's like tequila and he just
that was on Raw. Yeah, he did some drinking and driving on Raw. However, on NXT, look, I tapped into NXT because I heard that Julia and Roxanne was going on first. So I said, okay, I would like to watch this match. Very good match. I gave it 4 stars. I thought it was very fun. Big, nice little sprint, 11 minutes. Hell yeah. And then after that, I was like, okay, I'm going to turn it off. And then Stephanie Vicaire came out. And I said, okay, hang on. Mm-hmm. I can stick around for Vicaire.
Yeah.
And then that match was done. Very fun match as well. After that, JC Jane and her crew came out. I think the Fatal Influence is what they're called. And I get paid by Joel Holbert. And for those that know, Joel Holbert is a big JC Jane fan. So I said, I'm going to protect my paycheck, and I'm going to watch this match too. And so that happened. And then directly after that, I think that was the Charlie Dempsey and Lexis King match, which was very close for me, because Lexis King got very blown up at the end of that match and was fucking shit up. But it was still okay. I kept it on. Then the Rock came out. He started openly flirting with Ethan Page on the live broadcast. He slapped his ass as he went away. He said, "Get that sweet ass out of here," is what he said. So I said, okay, I need to keep watching. Obafemi then came out, and I thought he would reclaim his gold. So I was like, okay, I can see Oba not reclaim but claim his gold. And so I was like, okay, I'll see for this title win. It was a fine match, but Obafemi did become champion. That was pretty sick. And then I was already at the end of the show. What the hell else am I going to do than stick around for The Rock?
Yeah.
And The Rock comes out in this fucking performance center with 10 minutes to go. He says, fuck the 10 minutes. He spends about 5 minutes doing his intro and walks to the ring, gets there, and is very obviously off that shit. He has been drinking tonight because he is swearing every 2 seconds.
He's got to cope with all his movies bombing somehow.
Somehow he's finding a way with tequila, and he is drunk as shit. He is cursing. He is clearly responding to every bit of online discourse that came his way after Raw. It was something else. And then I realized, I said, shit, I watched all of NXT last night. So I had a fun time. I won't lie to you. We'll see. The Novi brand is keeping our eye on the NXT cards. There will not be a pre-show. I did see that later on. We'll never be doing that. However, we'll keep our eye on the cards. If Julia's wrestling, if got some Stephanie Vicaire minutes on there, we can maybe tap in a little bit here and there. Obafemi got a title defense. Okay. Next week we will not be watching. We are a proud Opa feminist in this brand on this channel. So that was a very fun experience. Hope you guys enjoyed the live tweeting. There was a lot of Fed fans that followed me afterwards, and I was very alarmed. But hopefully they're fun.
Really disappointed the next day.
Yeah, they're gonna be real sad whenever I live tweet AEW tonight. But that was a fun time. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I'm gonna. Is this you? Let's say you have aura. Are you Unk?
No, I think it's about The Rock.
Okay, he has aura too. That's fine. Both of you have aura. Pac has never owned a shirt in his life.
That's my favorite thing about Pac is that he just seemingly doesn't own clothes.
Yeah, he just wears his gear everywhere. He wears like Target gear, mall gear. That's what he's doing. 90% of wrestlers should never wrestle over 30. True.
Yeah, well, it's like 90% of wrestlers aren't good. Like if we're just looking at like sheer numbers, most of them are bad.
Yeah, pretty much.
2 minutes. If we're being real,
like solid 2 in there.
Yeah, most of them should be wrestling squash matches.
Yeah, why not?
Just statistically.
Yeah. Omos went to the pro wrestling Noah and became a tag champ with Jack Morris.
Homo sapiens are up.
The Homo sapiens are very up. I saw some pictures from that event, and my God, he looked unbelievable with the belt on his shoulder.
The Noah crowd also, like, I didn't watch the show, but I like heard that people like loved him in Noah.
Yeah, we're tapped in for that. We're tapped in. It's like the one thing in Noah we're tapped in for.
Just almost belt collector run in Noah. Like,
baby.
Just do it. Give him every title.
Give him the GHC.
Dude, okay, actually, though, like, Omos versus Shuji Ishikawa for the GHC hardcore title would, like, be the most beast thing ever.
I've actually seen that guy wrestle. I'm cool with that. Let's do it. Let's fucking run it.
I know it's never going to happen because Noah's affiliated with WWE now, but, like, I want to see Old Man Edge versus Shuji Ishikawa for the GHC hardcore belt so bad. That'd be just, like, diabolical old man grabs. Cool.
One of your old man dream matches.
Yeah, exactly. In the 50 plus division.
That's so beast. We have a Shota confidence looks so shot. It sure does. Zax wasn't looking too hot after the show either. Mr. Big Dude, does Nuance get engagement is the thing? No.
When has it ever done that?
Never has done that.
Mr. Big Dude, give me a singular example.
Yeah, it's never going to happen, unfortunately. It's very sad. Who's excited for Kenny to start his feud with Jack Barry tonight? This is maybe what I would have thought before this.
I've kind of jinxed it myself personally. As soon as I saw that Kenny was coming back to AEW, I was like, oh boy, get ready for 10 months of the Golden Jets feuding with Private Party.
Good God. Look, guys. I'm gonna fill all 37 of you that are in this stream right now. I'm gonna fill you guys in. I'm gonna tell you guys right now. You'll be very happy with Kenny Omega's direction tonight. You'll be very, very happy. It'll make you all smile. I guarantee that it'll make every single one of the 37 of you smile. That is what I'll say. That's all I'll say.
Just him and Okada go on like a Mega Powers run.
That's later down the line, if I could assume. I don't think it's gonna be Okada. I just know it's gonna make you very happy. Lord Lambo, first guest to get a limit. You are getting the gag order, brother. You are being hogtied. Very beast, very beast. And then we have a wonderful super chat from Chris. I'm not going to try to pronounce the last name because I don't want to butcher that. I want to be kind.
Shimzamu.
We'll take your word for it. But Chris sends £5. That is the first pounds we've ever gotten on this channel. Shout out.
Really?
I want to know your honest opinion on the Death Riders in AEW. I feel like this storyline is just plain ridiculous and cartoonish. I think that the Death Riders, I think exactly that, actually. That's what I think. I think this storyline fucking sucks. I think Jon Moxley is very bad right now. I think Wheeler Yuta is very bad right now. I think Claudio Castagnoli is very bad right now. I think Pac is having fun in England. He's the only one that is okay. I think this storyline is just total shit. I think it doesn't make any sense anymore. I think your fan base is actively rejecting it. I think it'd be the smartest thing in the world to pivot and call it a day with this. You tried. You did your best. Let it go. It's over. It's done.
Yep. Yeah, co-sign all of that. The most confusing thing to me about this whole storyline, to be honest, is why has Marina Shafir not wrestled a single match this whole time?
That's very interesting. She just keeps doing like drop toe holds.
Death Riders are dominant. They're taking over everything. They're beating up everybody. Like, why is she not like in the women's division doing anything?
Yeah, it's very interesting. Very.
I understand why they're not having her talk because
she's no,
she's not allowed to ever speak again after the "you think you know me" promo. But why is she not just like even just doing like squash matches, just like jumping random girls every week and like kayfabe breaking their arm or something, like
you would think there'd be some cool stuff going on.
Yeah, and that's just so weird. Like, why is she in the group? It makes no sense.
Yeah, it's really, really weird. But the group is just very bad. I haven't enjoyed it for a long time.
Yeah, I like I said earlier, I was like excited for it when it started, and then like I coped for like 2 months, and now I can't keep coping.
Yeah,
the copium has run out. I'm clean off of cocaine.
Yeah, our fuel tanks have run dry. We have none left. Our oxygen tanks, we're done. We're all out. Yeah. That's
it comes with a V trigger. It comes with a GLEAT contract.
There you go. It's two things that definitely comes with One Winged Angel. It comes with 2 of them. Actually, we're gonna put you in the dirt. It comes with many things, and those are a couple of them. But I do appreciate the 5 pounds, Chris. Very much appreciate it. JA, hot take. Ricochet could become the biggest heel in wrestling this year. Biggest heel? I don't know. Great heel. Great heel. Great heel, though. We can get down with that. He's been great.
I heard the Zach match like exceeded expectations. Like when that was announced, I was like, "This is the dumbest thing I've ever seen." But I've heard it exceeded expectations.
Mm-hmm.
And my thoughts on it when it was announced were like, I want the bell to ring and Zach just like head kicks him for like the 1, 2, 3. And then like the Hurt Syndicate music hits, and he wrestles Shelton Benjamin instead.
I get being low on Ricochet, and there was a time where I was a little more low on Ricochet, but I've really enjoyed the heel work he's been doing on this show. I've enjoyed the matches more because he's just being a geek. That's all I would want.
Throwing toilet paper at him, it's pretty funny.
That's also funny.
Or like Prince Nana pulling up with like the cart full of toilet paper and like giving it out to the crowd so they can all throw it at him.
Yeah. I'm into the Ricochet business. I'm excited for the Swerve match for sure. Let's see here. We're seeing some Takeshita Never belt. Rise and Grind Poi fans. Beast.
It's an inside joke, but yeah, thank you.
Beast. Shout out. I hope to God we don't see Jeff Jarrett win the Casino Gauntlet match.
I'm sorry, but it comes with a guitar shot. It comes with a stroke. It comes with a Fargo strut.
Look, man. I'm cool with Jeff Jarrett doing a little run here. Casino Gauntlet takes a step too far. Dare Rich, always good to have you hanging out. Happy early birthday once again. Takeshita too hot and too good to be featured on the show. Many are saying
that's why he signed with New Japan.
It's like that's why he's got a triple contract.
Amjan will endorse this. We're done with the minor leagues. We're exclusively wrestling on the cerulean blue and whatever color DDT's canvas is.
Yeah. Casino Gauntlet should be a pay-per-view like the Rumble, correct? I think that's a great take.
I don't know. I think doing it at All In, like as a tradition every year, would be cool.
That would be cool too. Yeah.
I think I've said that before. Like AEW needs more things like that. Like how WWE has pay-per-views that are like structured around a specific gimmick match. And like even like TNA had that too, right?
Yeah.
Because like the AEW pay-per-views more or less feel like all interchangeable with each other. It's like, okay, here's 10 to 12 good matches, is typically it. Like I think they need to do, instead of making like Blood and Guts like a TV special, they need to like make that a pay-per-view thing, or like the Casino Gauntlet needs to be a pay-per-view thing. I really want them to do something like the Battle of Los Angeles or like J-Cup, do like a one-night tournament for like men and women, just have like 6 people tournament in one night.
That'd be very fucking cool. Yeah. I could get totally down with that.
Like one of the B pay-per-views like Dynasty or something, just have it be like a one-night tournament.
Yeah, I would. That just like, let's try it one time.
Yeah,
we'll see how it goes. Yeah, I think those are some solid takes there. Nick, 30th Brawl, so innovative. Yeah, they're really thinking hard on this whole Brawl situation. Let's see here.
What bizarre like home improvement implement will the Death Riders attack somebody with next? Vote in the comments right now.
It won't be anything cool like a nail gun, so don't say that. It won't be anything like that. They'll probably just use zip ties and I don't know, a screwdriver.
Gonna like epoxy Action Andretti to the ceiling.
Yeah, like the drywall stuff you scrape on whenever you have a hole in there. It'll be like, I'm gonna scrape it on your tongue.
Oh my gosh! Like the Edgar Allan Poe story, Cask of Amontillado. where the dude gets buried behind the wall.
That's the one.
It'll cut to like backstage and they're like sealing Lio Rush behind a wall with like bricks and mortar.
They're just doing construction work backstage. That's all. That's where you're going down for the Death Riders. Just spoiler alert, guys, just in case.
They're just like Looney Tunes murdering people at this point.
Yeah, pretty much. Jumanji, Novi was locked into NXT yesterday. NXT pre-show win. I mentioned this because I saw it earlier. You ain't getting the NXT pre-show, but you may get some live tweets here and there. Let's see here. Edging to cope with the pain. Interesting. All right, that's cool. That's cool. That's cool. We'll just post that in live chat. It's cool. Thank you, Nick. Appreciate it, bro. Mr. Big Dude, Novi previewing Lexus King Graps. I would be there, brother. I would not be previewing the Lexus King show.
Will you do a stream where you review Lexus King's like beard lineups that he gets?
Maybe I could get that. We could do something creative with that.
Do like a video. Do like a whole video of like the timeline of like Lexus King like beard.
It'll be my one and only short list. Yeah, it'll be my one and only YouTube short. I'm gonna do a tier list. Look, I'll say this. If you guys enjoy the NXT stuff like that, if you want to see me watch NXT and like do something like that, maybe I'll do it like a stream. Maybe I'll watch along or something like that. Maybe I'll get like real silly with it just for fun. We'll just have fun, guys. We could have fun sometimes. Prince Vegeta, always good to see Prince Vegeta. Always good. I know the time zone is weird for you. I'm pretty sure. So it's always good to catch you whenever we have the time here. Harley Cameron should win.
Yes.
Well, I think you're doing a bit right now.
I'm actually like a big Harley Cameron fan.
I like Harley Cameron. Winning.
Yeah, winning the Casino Gauntlet thing and like winning the title, no, but she's like consistently just like the funniest part of the show. And she's a
good time.
There's just like stuff she does where it's like, right, it's like the whole thing of like maximizing your minutes where she'll be on screen for like 30 seconds and just do like the funniest thing that night, you know? Like when she was Harley Graham and she just like talked like a robot because like we've never heard holograms speak, so like how do you do a hologram impression? And so she's just like, hologram's a robot, right?
Yeah, I can get down with that. It's funny business there. Another good point here. Jay and Tony, my predictions, both winning from number one, would be tough. Also, Caden doesn't see Tony winning 2 weeks in a row, so he got Willow. The thing is, you got to see them going over on Australia. So I would probably change the Jay White instead of changing the Tony, because technically how they're booking her is that Tony's still a rookie, so she's still got to earn her keep. So she doesn't have all the wins she had before. So. I would say switch the Jay White. I don't know what to. Not Jarrett, but one of them.
I think Riho comes back in the women's one. I don't think she wins it, but I think she comes back.
She's one too. I could definitely see coming back. We'll preview that up next week, but that's one I've got in mind as well. I thought Caden was done with Graps. Apparently, Caden decided he was done with Graps and then locked in to start the year. He rewatched Wrestle Kingdom, like the best stuff off of it. So I don't know. He's kind of moving. He's moving different right now. I don't know. I can't. He's like swerving. I can't predict him anymore. Let's see here. Maybe I'm just being a pessimist. Do you think the Mariah rematch will have as much heat with the new character? Being in Australia and everything will help. I just don't know about the staying power. I don't think so.
Yeah.
I just think the winner is too predictable on this one. So I just,
I think that match happens. Like, okay, the fans have complained long enough. So like here, damn, we'll change the title.
Yeah, pretty much. Eddie Thorpe was there for nothing. He absolutely was. He just it's pretty sick that they were just like, yo, bro, you're not doing nothing this match, because he just got kicked on the outside and just laid there. So good for him. Let's see here. Omega and Okada all in Texas for the CC championship. Could be down with that. Mm-hmm. The Vader and Takata shirt, hard. Shout out Brain Bust. Also, shout out Brain Bust because this weekend on Sunday, anytime we'll pick an hour, either 7, 8, or 9 EST. We're going to be doing Cage Match Chronicles Batista. So we have 5 matches here from Batista to review. We're going to go through them right now real quick, and then we should probably do a little bit of the show, I think. We have Batista, Randy Orton, and Ric Flair versus Benny, Chris Jericho, and Edge. We have Batista versus Triple H. We have Batista versus The Undertaker, Batista versus Shawn Michaels, and then the Ultimate Triple Threat, Batista versus Randy Orton versus Daniel Bryan. We'll be covering all those matches on the Cage Match Chronicles. I don't have the link in the description right now, but I will put it there because I did forget because I was copying and pasting. So that will be on this Sunday. Make sure to check me or Brainbuster's Twitter on that and lock in. Should be a fun show. It was fun last time we did it, so hope so. Let's see here. I hope the 80% are lined up tonight from the stage to the ring and are personally handed the pink slip from Kenny Omega himself live on the HBO Maximum.
They should do it like the TNA Feast or Fired thing, where it's like the match to grab the briefcase.
let's throw all 80% in there.
Where it's like a battle royale with like the whole roster, and you're just fighting to get a slip that says you're fired.
Yeah, I would be down with that. Let's do it now. Let's do it. Kenny Omega will be returning to AEW tonight. He returned at the Tokyo Dome this last weekend in a fantastic match. Guys, I couldn't be more excited for Kenny Omega to come back. I've been missing him bad ever since he left. I'm so happy he's healthy. I'm so happy he's looking as good as he did this past weekend. I know the direction. I think you guys, again, are going to like it. It was co-signed by the Brain Bust to confirm. I'll give it here. It is a beautiful, beautiful direction for Kenneth. I'm really, really excited for what this run is going to look like. He said in promos he is taking everything that is rightfully his. And in my opinion, I agree with him that it's AEW. Drew, tell me how you're feeling about Kenneth Omega.
I guess I'm optimistic about it. If they actually decide to, book him like a star instead of the Golden Jets. So I have to gamble on them doing the right thing, obviously. But it'll be interesting to see if he's like how much he's changed his like ring style and stuff, because like I haven't watched the Gabe Kidd one yet, although I know it was more of like a brawl kind of thing than a lot of his matches are.
It was like what you think before, like early AEW Kenny Omega, like that kind of explosiveness, that kind of athleticism, it was all back. Like it was like he was there again in front of my very eyes. It was absolutely glorious. Shedding tears in there. Like Tanahashi, I was
they
shedding
need
tears.
To just make him like a special attraction dude at this point, because it's like you already lost like 2 years of his career to all these different like injuries and stuff, right? Like and he's like 40 or 41 now. Like
he's up there.
You need to just have him be like a dude who pretty much like only wrestles on pay-per-views, and it's like a big deal whenever he does at this point.
He just needs to be a god. Like it's simple as that. He needs to be the god of AEW, god of pro wrestling. Also, it should be noted, we have some hashtag Novi scoops. It's not necessarily a Novi scoop, fellas. That is a self-made scoop. So if you guys would like to hear some of that, if you'd like to hear some business there, join the self-made Discord. I forget the Twitter @ but it's there. Ibu has it linked in his description, so check that out. Very great place to discuss wrestling. It's what made NXT so fun last night. So, fellas, we are up for a Kenny Omega return. Kenny, chosen by God Omega. It'll be wonderful. I cannot wait. We have a couple other things we should probably get to now. Jeff Jarrett will be appearing live. I would hope this is maybe a pre-tape. He did the in-ring stuff last time. Not sure what it'll be. Maybe just hyping up some more, maybe a match or two. I don't know.
It's the Death Riders holding him off a balcony, shaking him by his legs.
He's shaking coins out of his pockets. Yeah. That's exactly what it is. That's it. That's all we're going to say about
Yuta
that.
Can afford lunch. Yeah.
Yeah. Yuta needs to buy a sandwich from catering. He needs to pay for catering. MJF is going to appear live. I've been very into MJF lately. I'm hoping for some fun direction. However, I worry greatly.
We done with brochachos. We done with the Undisputed Kingdom.
We're finally done.
I hate
finally.
This stuff so much.
Oh, it's fucking terrible. He seems to be done with it, though. He seems to be done, which is very exciting. So hopefully we get some new direction for MJF, who's not brochachoed out of his mind. We have Will Ospreay versus Buddy Matthews. This is a late entry to AEW Dynamite this week. This should be a fun match. I always enjoy Buddy Matthews' work. I always enjoy Ospreay. I think maybe this is a sign like, hey, guys, he's not going to be in that gauntlet. He's going to do here, but who knows? Double duty, as you said.
That's the only purpose this actually serves, because like I mean, I know he wrestled Brody in the Continental Classic, but like, I really hope this doesn't culminate in like Ospreay versus Malachi Black at some point.
Stay far away from that matchup.
That would be truly just a very unfortunate angle for this to go in.
Yeah. I wouldn't like the direction to be that.
Trying to wrestle a dude who like doesn't ever want to bump or do anything.
Oh man, it would be very interesting. However, I do think Malachi is very cool, and I did like him when I was a kid. So I think maybe we can get down with it for just 1 second.
I didn't like know anything about him because like I didn't watch Black and Gold NXT at all, and like when he debuted in AEW, I was like, oh, this guy's like kind of cool, and then like he very clearly was like excited to like work with Cody when he was there, and then Cody left, and then he just like never cared about anything he was doing ever again after that.
Yeah, pretty much. But this should be a very good match, as expected.
He was furiously Googling like how to break a contract without getting sued as soon as Cody left.
The Google searches are definitely crazy in Malachi's in terms of contract-related Google searches. So yeah, I'm very, very much looking forward to this match. I think it's going to be quite good. Let's see here. I'm going to leave that main event for a little later. We are going to blatantly ignore all of the Kenny speculation you guys will find out tonight. How do you feel about Daniel Garcia as TNT champion so far? I'm a little bit underwhelmed. However, I hope for better moving forward. The Mark Briscoe match this weekend on Collision was the only thing that I cared about, even for a second before I left. I was there live.
Yeah, it's just like you had him win a TV title and then didn't have him defend it on TV for a month because you put him in the Continental Classic for some reason. And then you also like ignored this thing that you set up where like before Danny won it, he like, because Shibata like saved him at some point. He was like, oh yeah, dude, first time I defend this title, it's going to be you, man. And they just ignored it.
Yeah. It's just
so like, I don't think they really care about this.
Yeah, that's what I was going to get at. I don't think they necessarily care, and I'd like to see, there were some feuds that we set up in the C2 that I'd like to see coming out of it. Like there were some matchups that I'd be interested in.
Kyle Fletcher,
yeah, but you kind of just have to like remains to be seen. I need to see it to
Kyle's
believe it.
A good guy too to like have like take it off of him eventually also, and like it's they like don't care about that belt really at all, and like it's just another one of those things where they've like screwed Danny by like setting him up with something that they just didn't even care about to begin with.
Yeah, I would second that. I agree. Also, yes, my Death Riders takes, it does mean something when I talk about Wheeler Yuta, because he's right there. So it does mean something if I talk about it. Also, there's another figure there. There's a Hangman Adam Page figure there, a world champion. 2025 is the year of Omegaism, correct? It should also be the year of Will Ospreay. There's a couple of guys I'd circle in AEW right now that I'd like to see maybe ping pong that title, maybe just be the centerpiece of AEW. I think the fans have chosen their guys. I'd like to see them push in that direction. Those are two of them. So I would definitely agree. Let's see here. Ricochet, another Ricochet love in the chat for the best heel business. You roll your eyes. You roll your eyes. You'll believe. You'll believe in Geekachet soon enough. You'll believe.
I believe that he is a geek.
But you'll see the vision. You'll see that him being a geek is funny.
Oh no.
You'll see. You'll see. Harley Cameron is our Chelsea Green. That's quite a good comparison, actually. I enjoy that. John's about to have a block of cheese under an unsuspecting box. You'll be leading people into traps they just couldn't imagine.
Oh my gosh, it's like a jar of like creatine to trap Brian Cage under a box.
That's exactly.
And they like hit the box with hammers or something.
Yeah, it's gonna be just a big thing of protein powder. It's sitting under there, and Brian Cage is gonna sneak over. He's gonna get trapped. They're gonna say, "This is exactly what it's like in AEW. Feel trapped in all this madness, the sickness."
Run the box over with a truck.
Yeah, they'll kill him just on broadcast.
They kill Brian Cage.
They'll kill Brian Cage, and he'll be back next week. It's gonna be great. Just like Hayabusa coming back from the dead here soon.
Oh, that's who asked for that? Like, why? Why?
Very scary.
Thing? It's so
very
dumb.
scary. Very scary stuff. We just talked about the House of Black program. If we could do the matches like one good time, but that's as much as I'll take. That's as much as I can do. Just get the Malachi match and call it a day. If that's what you want to do, fine, whatever. Don't care. Anjan saying that when I've done 3 LNG shows this far, but that doesn't mean you like raps though. It's different. You're getting paid for that. It's not the same thing. But you are back. You are back in the game, I think. Shout out Vader.
Hey.
Always shout out Vader. Let's see here. Oh, don't do that to me. I would not like that at all. This is the only one I'll talk about too, because I'm seeing them in chat and I'm scrolling past them. But that, no, thank you. It's not that.
It's time to sit under the learning tree.
Oh God.
You've been away from wrestling for so long. You got to relearn the basics under the learning tree.
Oh God, don't say that to me. It's very scary business. But it's not that, luckily enough. MJF and Hangman Page, I did see this kind of thrown out there not that long ago. I wouldn't hate it. I wouldn't love it, but I wouldn't hate it. It is 2 top stars going at each other, and I can get down with that as long as Hangman wins. That's cool.
Yeah, like they need to have some like crazy like Texas death match. That's like the only thing I really want to see MJF do at this point. Is like I don't like the just standard MJF matches at all anymore.
He needs to switch it up maybe a little bit.
Yeah,
a little bit. Character match, all that sort of stuff. It's announced that the Private Party will have a championship victory celebration tonight. They won those belts like a couple months ago. Did they not know that? Did they just figure that out, or what happened?
Oh God, it's turning into that thing with like Mariah May, where she like kept trying to have title celebrations and kept being interrupted. It's turning into that.
Oh great, Private Party's coming out, guys. So woohoo, you know. Or Top Flight. Did I say Top Flight or Private Party?
Private Party, yeah.
Top Flight.
Like, I assume that's what's gonna happen. They're gonna like try to have their celebration, and then like the Top Flight guys are gonna like run in on it. Or that's who could possibly care?
Yuck. Who could possibly care? When I was a kid, yes, I was young. Actually, I'm only 21, so yeah, that's how this happens. So it ends up that way. But you know, it is what it is. Let's see here. If Omega is not taking that belt, it should be Ospreay. I would agree. The fans have chosen him. Let's go with it. Let's go with it.
It's like inevitable, anyways. Like,
yeah, it'll happen eventually. We could do it soon. I would like to see one of those two be the next holders of the belt. Maybe another time we get this Darby stuff off, but
yeah,
we'll talk. We're getting close to Dynamite, so I don't want to go into a big Darby spiel because it's a very nuanced and layered take, guys. It's what you find here on the pre-show. You get nuance. You don't find that on the timeline, but you get it here. Let's see here. Don't threaten me. And let's talk about it.
That was cursed.
Don't threaten me like that. That's alarming. I should time you out for that. It's scary shit that you just dropped in my chat. Scary ass shit. We do have a main event. It's a main event tonight, but it probably won't be the main event of the show, but it'll be the main event of the tonight's show, the pre-show. Mark Briscoe versus Bobby Lashley. Look, fellas, this is the real. I'm excited
for this one.
I'm very much looking forward to this one. Mark Briscoe injects a crazy amount of energy into all of his matches. I enjoy them all for that reason. Bobby Lashley is a fucking beast. I saw him live on Dynamite last week, and he looked incredible. This is just a fun matchup that I didn't expect we'd ever get in the 2020s. So I'm really looking forward to this. You seem to also be looking forward to this. So
this is like a thing I like never have considered before, but then like as soon as it was announced, I was like, oh, this is awesome. Like Mark is going to take just a like absolutely hellacious beating and make Bobby look like $1 million. You know, like I fully expect like Mark like running the blade and everything, just like looking like Bobby just destroys him, you know?
Yeah, we're going to go all out.
I hope they don't try to do the thing they've like, because they've kind of built Mark up as a singles guy to some degree. And like, I hope they don't try to just make it like a 50-50 match that goes for like 12 minutes or whatever. Like, it doesn't need to be a squash, but I do need Bobby Lashley to just like brutalize Mark Briscoe. I think that would be so sick.
Yeah, I'd like to see like, I want to see it given some time, but I do want to see Bobby Lashley dominate. Him and the Hurt Syndicate, just guys, I was there last week, as I've alluded to, which I haven't even really talked about that much. Last week's show was fun to be at. but seeing them live is like a different experience. They're just they have crazy aura. They're a crazy good team.
Yeah, like I saw them before. It was before Lashley debuted, but I like got to see Shelton Benjamin's like first match in the company, like with MVP.
Oh, hell yeah!
That was when he wrestled Leo Rush,
Great
which was
match.
funny. Like looking back on it, there was like from where I was sitting, there was a moment during the Shelton versus Leo match where Shelton and Leo literally looked like this picture of Vader because Leo is like so much smaller.
Yeah. That's so sick, actually. But yeah, this should be a very fun matchup. These guys have both been great. I do also second this. Before we get out of here, if you guys have any last chats you want to get in right now, make sure to send them in. Mark Briscoe does need some gold this year. I don't care how he gets it. I don't care what gold it is. It could be the damn world title. I don't care. Yep. I'd like to see him do it. Let's do it anyways.
TBS champ Mark Briscoe. Let's go.
Let's that's the real brother. Don't talk. Threaten me with a good time. Yeah. Hurt Syndicate would wipe the floor with the Death Riders. There's a reason they haven't interacted, and that's because they're very afraid of their aura. I'm afraid.
Yeah, it's like they're like mid-carders, but they feel like actual heels and like an actual threat compared to the Death Riders who are like dominating the company.
Yeah, they're reshaping AEW. No, you're not. These guys are actually. Shout out hurting people.
Yeah, we hurt people.
We do hurt people. But I don't think we've heard anybody tonight with tonight's broadcast. I think we've had a great time. I think we've had a fun one here tonight. It's good to have you on. Drew, Rind, Art. Is there anything you'd like to promote?
Aliases. I don't have anything to promote, but I will. Yeah, shout out to the Mio Momino fan club. Shout out to Euro Squad, Free Palestine. That's all I've got to get off there.
That's a solid little trio there.
Yeah, long live shoot style.
Beast. We can co-sign these things. I think we can co-sign this on the broadcast. Right. I do appreciate you coming on. We'll get to these last.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me on here.
And Jan, fuck TVSI.
Dude, they pulled up with the black vans, the drones, the snipers.
They've taken the whole timeline out. It's over.
Brutal sight.
Brutal stuff. But guys, please be afraid of them. Please don't post their stuff on the timeline. If you guys have ever, they do not play. And if you guys have ever wondered why I don't upload like parts of the matches in my Match Review Monday videos, it's because I'm deathly afraid of copyright. That's your answer right there. And even like if I cover New Japan, I'm not doing any pictures on the screen. You're just gonna have to get over it. I hate to tell you, they're gonna cook me. And also, yes, it does feel kind of weird, but double duty. It could always happen. You've alluded to it. Yeah. I do appreciate you coming on. It's been a very fun show. If you guys haven't liked the stream already, make sure to leave a like on your way out. Make sure to comment when the stream is over. You can comment anything you want. You can comment shoot style forever. You can comment shout out Mio Momino. You can comment free Palestine. You can do whatever you want.
Indeed.
I'm cool with all of it. Just make sure to leave a like on the stream. Make sure to comment. Thank you guys all for hanging out. Thank you guys for making this a wonderful return. We'll be back next week. We are not taking days off. We're going full strong. And next week, I'll announce it right here. If you guys have seen him on the Late Night Grin, he was recently on a tier list. We have, I want to make sure, Rice Man. We have Rice Man wrestling here on next week. So lock in for that. It should be a fun one. Thank you guys all for hanging out once again.
Yeah, thank you.
Enjoy Dynamite. Thank you, Rind. Thank you, Drew. Thank you, Art. Let's lock in, folks. Let's do this thing. Hell yeah.